It is a windy night here at Patterson Field on the campus of Mingus Union High School. Welcome in to Game 1 of our doubleheader here on Thursday night. Some baseball action for you on Verde Valley TV as the Mingus Marauders take on the Mohave Thunderbirds. I'm Philip Catafamo, happy to have you along with me wherever you may be. As I mentioned, it is a very brisk evening here in Cottonwood, Arizona, but we've got some great baseball as the Mingus Marauders look to continue their success at home after a solid comeback from behind victory against the Lee Williams Volunteers last week on Thursday right here at Patterson Field. They're looking to continue that against the Mohave Thunderbirds, who are also coming off a victory against the Cortez High School. We've got some baseball coming up here on Verde Valley TV. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get you the starting lineups, we'll get you the first pitch, and a whole lot more. Stay with us.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles, and go Marauders.
The most common reasons for bankruptcy are unforeseen circumstances like tragedies, illness, unemployment, and foreclosures. I'm Michael Gordon. We understand your situation and your need to look at all the alternatives. Call Gordon & Gordon for a free, non-judgmental bankruptcy or foreclosure consultation. Ask about zero-down bankruptcy options. Gordon & Gordon Attorneys at Law. Trust well placed.
Welcome back to Patterson Field here on the campus of Mingus Union High School for tonight's doubleheader as the Mingus Marauders take on the Mohave Thunderbirds. I'm Philip Catafamo. Happy to have you along with me here on Verde Valley TV. As I mentioned, we are in store for a very fun baseball game. We'll take a look at the Mohave Thunderbirds, the away team tonight. Coach Rex Rodinger's team comes in 0-2 in the region, having suffered 2 losses to Flagstaff to start the season. They got a bounce-back victory last week against Cortez, 13-0, a solid victory for the Mohave Thunderbirds, and they're looking to roll that momentum into this game tonight against the Mingus Marauders. In that game against Cortez, Mikey Panteau, the junior, 2 for 2 with 1 RBI. Dylan Crandall, the junior, 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Devin McDaniel, the junior, did it at the plate, 2 for 3 with 1 RBI, and on the mound, 2 innings pitched, 2 walks, and 4 Ks in a 13-0 victory for the Mohave Thunderbirds last week against Cortez High School. For the Mingus Marauders, as I mentioned, they are coming off of a comeback from behind victory. Of course, these two teams were supposed to play on Tuesday at Mohave, but due to weather, that game didn't end up happening, so here we are with a doubleheader here on Thursday. So as I mentioned, the Marauders are coming off of a strong victory after their first initial loss against Lee Williams last week on Tuesday. They bounced back here at home on Thursday and beat the Lee Williams Volunteers 7-5. And a solid outing from Jan Alvarez, not only at the plate where he went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, but on the mound. The junior did it well for the Marauders, came up clutch, struggled a little bit in the first inning and a little bit at the tail end of the game, but right after that first inning, Jan really settled down. 7 innings pitched, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, and 3 Ks. He'll be on the mound again tonight for the Mingus Marauders, and will look to get his second victory on the season against these Mohave Thunderbirds. Let's take you around the diamond for the visiting Mohave Thunderbirds. Leading off and DHing is Connor Dubois. He's playing shortstop and batting second, wearing number 2, River Borland. The second baseman, wearing number 11 and batting third, Devin McDaniel. Number 3, Dylan Crandall, will be playing center field and batting fourth. In the 5-hole will be Mickey Panteau. He's on the mound tonight for the Mohave Thunderbirds, wearing number 7 and batting in the 5 spot. At number 6, wearing 21 and playing right field, Alex Cotter. At third base, Eduardo Ruiz, batting 7th and wearing number 17. Yahir Acero will be in left field for the Mohave Thunderbirds, wearing 19 and batting number 8. And at the bottom of the lineup, our catcher, Rex Rodinger, wearing number 13. So it should be a fun outing for the Mingus Marauders tonight. As I mentioned, they are looking for their second home win on the season, able to get a comeback from behind victory against the Lee Williams Volunteers. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get your first pitch. Stay with us here on Verde Valley TV.
The Suzy Q Market is the most convenient stop for road trips with 1,500 beverage selections and plenty of snacks. And save on fuel with the Marathon Make It Count reward program. The Suzy Q drive-thru window is the most convenient way to stop for those essentials on the way home.
Road trips start here with something for everyone.
At Suzy Q.
Shop local first, always.
Go Marauders!
Lawler Construction has been a premier local builder of custom residential and commercial projects for 36 years. Using green construction methods, Lawler Construction builds efficiency into every custom design. Lawler Construction is a certified Energy Star builder. For examples, visit LawlerConstructionAZ.com. They thank you for your business confidence and continued referrals. Lawler Construction, a proud supporter of baseball and softball at all levels. Look for Lawler Construction homes at Mountain Gate and Clarkdale this summer.
We get started here in the top of the first inning as the Mingus Marauders take on the Mohave Thunderbirds. Game 1 of our two-game doubleheader as Jan Alvarez takes the mound for the Mingus Marauders. As Mingus, as I mentioned, looks for another victory at home, this time against the Mohave Thunderbirds. They were able to beat Lee Williams in a comeback victory last week, 7-5, and what a great game it was. The Marauders really put it together in the fifth inning, where they exploded for about 5 runs and were able to get the lead and keep the lead. Let's take you around the diamond for the Mingus Marauders as the leadoff hitter for the Mohave Thunderbirds, and that is Connor Dubas, will step in, and we'll see what Jan Alvarez has for him. First pitch on the way is a fastball, is inside for ball 1. So a 1-0 count to Dubas early on, and we'll go down around the diamond real quick. Zach Harrison behind the dish for the Marauders. Jan Alvarez on the mound for Mingus. Trey Peters at third. Ryan Lindsay at short. Ben Balo over at second. Ryan Schamberger in right field as the second one is on the way to Dubas. That one's high, and it will go high for a ball. It'll be Jahia Rogers in left field, Anthony Rivera in center, and Emmett Smith is the right fielder for the Mingus Marauders. Dubas, Borland, and McDaniel are the 1-2-3 for the Mohave Thunderbirds, and Connor Dubas is currently up 2-0 as the third pitch on the way is popped up. Schamberger should be able to track it down. We'll see if he'll catch it, and he will make the grab, and that will be out number 1. So the pop-up to the first baseman. We've got the first out of the game, and here we go. As I mentioned, the Marauders looking for another victory, as are the Mohave Thunderbirds. They had a big a big bounce-back victory. I keep saying come from behind, but that's not true. Mohave lost to Flagstaff their first 2 games and then were able to beat Cortez 13-0 as River Borland steps in, the shortstop for Mohave. His first offering from Jan Alvarez is low for ball 1. So a 1-0 count here to Borland. No one on, 1 down. It was a pop-up to the first baseman, gave Jan Alvarez his first out of this game 1. Second pitch on the way to Borland. That one's in right field. Smith, we'll see if he nestles under it. It may stay in the infield for Balo, and he will. So Balo will make the catch for out number 2. 2 down now as Devin McDaniel steps in. Devin McDaniel, 2 for 3 with 1 RBI in that game against Cortez. I was talking with Coach Quesada before the game, and he said that the Mohave Thunderbirds very aggressive on the base pads. So mission number 1 from Jan Alvarez, if it isn't already, is going to keep these Mohave Thunderbirds off the plate as that one's fouled off, off the base pads. So that one's fouled off for strike number 1. McDaniel, one of the leading hitters so far in this very early season, 6 for 6 with 4 hits and 1 RBI. Batting .667, he's 4 for 6. Read that wrong, but still batting very, very well. So we'll see what McDaniel's got here. He's got an 0-1 count as Harrison goes and speaks with Alvarez, see what's going on there. Again, top of the first inning here, nobody on, 2 down. Jan Alvarez looking for a 1-2-3 inning to get things started here in game 1. Again, this is a doubleheader. We will have game 2 for you right as this one concludes. The 0-1 on the way from Alvarez. The pitch is low for ball 1. So now a 1-1 count to Devin McDaniel. A very windy day here in Cottonwood, Arizona. It's been windy all week. We've got a couple storms rolling through here. The 1-1 on the way. The pitch from Alvarez is running inside for ball 2, 2-1 count. You can kind of hear the wind very faintly in the background, but I can tell you it's blowing pretty good here. Blowing more towards left field, right third base side. 2-1 on the way to McDaniel. The pitch from Alvarez. That'll go foul. The count will run even at 2. So now a 2-2 count here. Alvarez looking to get out with a 1-2-3 inning. McDaniel trying to extend the 2-out rally here in the top of the first. 2-2 on the way from Alvarez. The pitch. Off speed, popped up. Looks like it'll stay in the infield. Going back on it is Lindsay. He'll make the grab. 1-2-3 inning for Jan Alvarez. And what a good start for the Marauders defensively. Let's see what they can do offensively. On the other side, it'll be Harrison. It'll be Alvarez. It'll be Schamberger when we come back. Stay with us here on Verde Valley TV.
From the Glen Canyon Dam to the corner sidewalks, Salt River Materials Group, Phoenix Cement, has helped build Arizona and the Southwest since 1959. Much like the products they provide, Salt River Materials Group, Phoenix Cement, has a strong sense of community and contributes to it in meaningful ways. Phoenix Cement is considered a premier employer and community supporter and would like to thank their friendly neighbors for 6 decades of continued support. Think harder, think concrete.
The mouth is the gateway to the digestive system. Studies indicate a correlation between oral health and full body health. Regular cleanings and checkups can help protect you. New patients are welcome at Arizona Smile Designers in Cottonwood. There's a full smile worth of services all offered under one roof. Whitening and cosmetic to implants and smile reconstruction. Find out more or request an appointment online at azsmiledesigners.com.
Mikey Panto is on the mound for the Mohave Thunderbirds as we pick things up here in the bottom of the first inning. Want to welcome you inside the broadcast here on Verde Valley TV. Welcome you back to Patterson Field on the campus of Mingus Union High School. It was a 1-2-3 inning. It was a 1-2-3 inning for Jan Alvarez in the first inning. We'll see what the Marauders offense can do for their pitcher as Zach Harrison will lead things off for the Mingus Marauders here in the bottom of the first inning. Harrison had a pretty good game against Lee Williams. Had a couple solid hits and was able to make a lot of impact as a base runner. Came around to score, I believe, twice in that win against Lee Williams last week. We'll see what Harrison does here. The first pitch on the way from Panto. Harrison swung on and missed for strike 1. Nice off speed there from Panto to get things going. Harrison awaits the 0-1, the pitch. It'll go low for ball 1. So a quick 1-1 count here to Zach Harrison. The 1-1 on the way to Harrison, the pitch. Harrison pops that one up into left field. We'll see who tracks it down. It'll fall for a base hit. Harrison's going to stay at first. Leadoff single for Zach Harrison, and the Marauders have their first base hitter of the night. Base runner, I should say. Jan Alvarez will step in now, trying to help his own cause. Alvarez was phenomenal in that win against Lee Williams. 3 for 4, 3 RBIs, and he did it on the mound, of course, but at the plate, Jan Alvarez really making his impact felt against Lee Williams. Again, like I mentioned, going 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, and what a way to help out yourself, as Alvarez was the pitcher in that game. First one on the way from Alvarez. Harrison over at first. The pitch is a ball. So a 1-0 count to Alvarez. Sees that one all the way in for strike one. Now the count will go to 1-1 here in the top of the first inning. Harrison over at first base, only base runner for the Marauders so far here. No outs. Jan Alvarez at the dish with a 1-1 count. The 1-1 on the way from Panto. The pitch. Alvarez right to the pitcher. Panto over to second. Throw on to first is not going to be in time. So Alvarez will get on. So Alvarez gets on, and now Ryan Schamberger will step in. Schamberger looking to move now Jan Alvarez into scoring position as Harrison gets out. Panto doing a good job with the pitching defense, almost turning the double play there. The first pitch on the way to Schamberger is down third base line, but foul. Count will go to 0-1 here for Ryan Schamberger. Jan Alvarez, again, the lone base runner for the Mingus Marauders. No outs, or excuse me, 1 out here in the top of the bottom of the first. Panto, pickoff move to first, not even close. So Alvarez will stay over at first base. Again, Schamberger looking to move him over. 0-1 count here to Ryan Schamberger. Schamberger waiting the 0-1. The pitch, fouled off. So a quick 0-2 count here with 1 down. Schamberger going to have to protect with anything close. Trying to drive it into the outfield or at least past the infielders. Get Alvarez over to second and give Trey Peters an opportunity, the cleanup man, to bring them both around. 0-2 count. Alvarez over at first. Panto, the pitch to Schamberger is off speed and foul. So good job of Schamberger to stay alive. Of course, you got to battle with a 0-2 count. So the count will remain 0-2. Again, runner over at first. Only 1 down here for the Mohave Thunderbirds. Marauders looking to score. Pickoff move, not in time. So the 0-2, Schamberger waits the pitch, and he'll foul that one off. And again, anything close, you got to assume Schamberger's going to try to get some metal onto it. Alvarez is pretty quick over at first base, so anything deep enough into the outfield should be, at the very least, enough to get him over to third. Possibly bring him around to score, depending on how deep it is, but big gap right over the head of the second baseman. The 0-2 on the way to Schamberger. Down the line, foul. Of course, the outfielder's playing to the wind. The wind is blowing more towards third base side. So anything in the air is going to stay in the air and start to move more to, I guess, the right if you're trying to field a fly ball. You can see the outfielder's making that adjustment. Anything that is in the air is going to carry right, which is why we have that huge gap over behind second base. The 0-2, Alvarez is going to take off. Throw down to second is in time. And they got him. So Alvarez is caught stealing for the second out. Now Schamberger, with nobody on, looks to protect here at the plate with 0-2. Schamberger 0-2 count, no one on now with 2 down. Panto looking to get out of the inning. The 0-2. And he'll do it. Backwards K, 1-2-3 inning for Alvarez, 1-2-3 inning for Panto. And we'll head to the second. Our score 0-0. Stay with us here on Verde Valley TV.
From the Merkin Farm to your table, from their vines to your glass. Merkin Vineyards Tasting Room in Osteria, a sense of place for extended family and community. The Merkin mission is to deliver a total sustainable Arizona experience, with fruits and vegetables family farmed in the Verde Valley and vines grown on Arizona Merkin acreage. Pastas and breads made from scratch and served with daily seasonal specials. Keep an eye out for the Merkin Pizza and Gelato wagons using the same local ingredients.
Balancing your family, finances, and future is a lot of responsibility. Let Jennifer Griffin and her team at State Farm help. Jennifer Griffin is an Arizona native and a Mingus graduate, as well as a third-generation State Farm agent, serving you in the same Main Street location for over 35 years. Jennifer Griffin and her team want to wish all of the Mingus athletes the best of luck this season. Go Marauders! Jennifer Griffin and State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right.
We pick things up here in the top of the second inning. Our score 0-0. Welcome you back here to Patterson Field on the campus of Mingus Union High School for tonight's Game 1 of 2. Our doubleheader here on Verde Valley TV as the Mingus Marauders take on the Mohave Thunderbirds. It'll be Dylan Crandall, Mikey Pantu, and Alex Cotter, the 1-2-3 for the Mohave Thunderbirds. It was a 1-2-3 inning for both pitchers. Jan Alvarez in the top of the first and Pantu in the bottom of the first. But here in the top of the second, of course, completely different innings, so we'll see what the Mohave Thunderbirds have in store for Jan Alvarez. Again, Dylan Crandall at the plate for Mohave. The first pitch on the way from Alvarez is in there for strike one. Crandall, another guy who had a good game against Cortez last week. 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs, the junior. We'll see what he can do here, batting in the 4 spot for Mohave tonight. The 0-1 is low for ball 1. So now 1-1 count here to Dylan Crandall. 1-1 on the way, the pitch. That'll go outside for ball 2. So a quick 2-1 count here to Dylan Crandall. Again, no outs, no one on. 0-0 ball game here in the top of the second inning. Alvarez in the windup. Pitch on the way, the 2-1. It's going to be in the dirt for ball 3. So now 3-1 count to Dylan Crandall, looking to be the first base runner for the Mohave Thunderbirds tonight. Of course, Alvarez trying to keep them off the base paths. Coach Casada telling me before the game that Mohave, not a team that is not afraid to steal if they're given the opportunity. And you saw Jan Alvarez try to steal in the last inning, so now Mohave trying to take advantage here. The 3-1, that's going to be a walk. A leadoff walk for Dylan Crandall gets him on first base and does make him Mohave's first base runner of the night, and the pitcher, Mikey Pantu, will check in. So Crandall over at first, Pantu at the plate, and again, here we go. We'll get an idea as to how aggressive Coach Rodinger wants to be with Crandall over at first. Alvarez keeping an eye on the runner over at first. First one on the way to Pantu, the pitch. Taking off is Crandall, and he is out. Beautiful throw from Zach Harrison. One down for the Marauders, and a great throw from Zach Harrison to get the first out of the inning. Crandall may have just taken off a little bit too late, but Harrison, a good throw right on the money. One down now. The 0-1 is in there for strike 2. So an 0-2 count here as Alvarez looks for the second out of the inning. The 0-2, the pitch. And it'll go outside for ball 1. Count will go to 1-2. Alvarez just need to settle down a little bit here. Ahead in the count here, 1-2 to Crandall. I mean, I feel like it probably didn't even say that. He's fine with a 1-2 count, no one on, but you don't want to lose the batter. The 1-2, the pitch. Off the end of the bat to shortstop. It'll fall for a base hit. And Pantu will get the first hit of the night for the Mohave Thunderbirds. So didn't need to do too much to get on base. Pantu just kind of slaps that one past the shortstop. And now we'll see Alex Cotter step in, the right fielder. We'll see what Pantu will do on the mound. Or excuse me, over at first. Alvarez is on the mound for the Marauders. Cotter will call time. Schamberger telling Alvarez it's all good. You tell Alvarez keeping an eye on Pantu over at first. Crandall's already attempted to steal. Of course, he was thrown out at second, so Mohave proven early that they're not afraid to take off. First one on the way to Cotter. The pitch. Right to second base, Balo fields it over to second. Throw on to first is not in time. So they will get the out at second, but not the out at first as Cotter gets on. And now Eduardo Ruiz will check in. So we'll see what Eduardo Ruiz can do for the Mohave Thunderbirds. Cotter now the lone man on first base. 2 down here in the top of the second inning. Still a possibility to get out of this inning with no damage as that one is fouled, goes behind me for strike one. So an 0-1 count to Eduardo Ruiz. Ruiz at third base tonight. Cotter over at first base. Alvarez on the mound for the Marauders. The 0-1, 2 down here in the top of the second inning. Ruiz trying to call time, he will. So Ruiz trying to play a little bit with the rhythm of the pitcher with Alvarez. Calling time. And we'll see if it pays off here on the 0-1. Alvarez still in the stretch. The pitch is high for ball one. So a 1-1 count here. Eduardo Ruiz at the dish for the Mohave Thunderbirds. Jan Alvarez on the mound for Mingus. Alex Cotter over at first base, the lone base runner for the Mohave Thunderbirds. Ruiz awaits the 1-1, the pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Alvarez looking for his first K of the night. We'll see if he can get it to end out the top of the second inning. When the Marauders do get a chance to bat, it will be Peters, Smith, and Rogers. As Mingus hopes the middle of their lineup can get something going. We got to get out of this inning first. The 1-2, the pitch. Swung on and missed. There it is. His first strikeout. Jan Alvarez able to get out of it, leaving a man on first. Our score remains 0-0. We'll head into the Marauders half of the second. Stay with us here on Verde Valley TV.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare 23 insurance companies for home, health, auto, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance. Call or visit All Price Insurance today.
Accidents happen. Red Rock Collision knows that your car is the second largest investment you're likely to make. For over 15 years, Red Rock Collision has been there to negotiate for you, the customer, not the insurance company. John and his staff promise quality repair with honesty and integrity. You can rest easy now. They'll return your car as safe as the day it was built.
It'll be Trey Peters, Emmett Smith, and Jahia Rogers for the Mingus Marauder. 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the second inning. Our score 0-0. Want to welcome you back here to Patterson Field on the campus of Mingus Union High School. I am Philip Catafamo. Happy to have you along with me here on Verde Valley TV. Game 1 of our doubleheader tonight. And we've currently got no score here as we begin the bottom of the second inning. Pantu, his first inning, well, is a 1-2-3 after giving the leadoff base hit to Zach Harrison. He was able to get out of the inning with no damage done. He faces Trey Peters. The first pitch to Peters is ripped down the line. It'll be fair on the third base line. Peters will stay over at first with a leadoff single. So very similar to what we saw in the bottom of the first inning, we're seeing again here in the second inning as Trey Peters starts things off with a leadoff single. That'll be Emmett Smith stepping up for the Marauders. Smith went 1 for 3 with 1 RBI last week on Tuesday at Lee Williams. We'll see what he can do here back at home against the Mohave Thunderbirds. Peters over at first, Emmett Smith at the dish. First one on the way from pan 2 to Smith. Smith watches that one in for a strike. So a quick 0-1 count here to Emmett Smith, trying to bring Trey Peters around. Peters getting on with a leadoff single down the third base line. The 0-1 to Smith. The pitch. Smith, check swing, and foul. So the count now will run 0-2. So 0-2 count here, or I guess they called it a ball, so 1-1 count, excuse me. Yeah, it should be 0-2. Smith definitely went around. It should be 0-2, yeah. So correction, on the correction, it is 0-2 to Emmett Smith. Trey Peters still over at first base. Mikey Pantu on the mound for Mohave. Pitch on the way to Smith, the 0-2. Smith, check swing again. That one will go foul. So the count will remain 0-2. Jahia Rogers waiting on deck, then Ryan Lindsay behind him. As the Marauders look to open things up here after going 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first inning. And now with an 0-2 count, Emmett Smith trying to move Trey Peters around. Pickoff moves not in time. Count will stay 0-2 here. Emmett Smith, the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. And that'll do it. First out for Mohave is a swinging strike as Jahia Rogers steps in. That'll be Pantu's second K of the night. And we'll see what Jahia Rogers can do as he looks to move Trey Peters. Rogers looking for something here to get something going for the Marauders. Seems they've been only, most of the Marauder base runners as that off speed is outside for ball one. It seems like, very, again, as I mentioned, very similar to the first inning. And it seems it's a running theme for both teams. Is having a base runner over at first and then not moving him past first. Happened in the first inning for Mohave and Mingus. Similar here in the second inning. Of course, Rogers looking to change that trend as he lines that one past second base. It'll be off the glove of the second baseman. That is McDaniel. And it'll be a base hit for Jahia Rogers, and that will move Trey Peters over to second. So he does break the trend, and now we will see Ryan Lindsay step up. Runners on second and first for Ryan Lindsay. Lindsay, the shortstop, looking to put something into the outfield to bring around Trey Peters and possibly Jahia Rogers. Mingus looking to jump out to an early lead. And a good opportunity here with a runner in scoring position. The first one on the way. The pitch. Lindsay watches that one all the way in for a low ball. Not a bad spot to miss from Pantu. Very close. The 0-1 or the 1-0 on the way to Lindsay. The pitch. Lindsay fouls that one off the hands. Count will go to 1-1. Runners over at second and first for the Marauders. Ryan Lindsay at the plate. Looking to make something happen. 1-1 count, one down. Here in the bottom of the second inning, 0-0 our score. The pitch. Lindsay watches that one all the way in for strike number 2. So 1-2 count here to Lindsay. With one down, the pitch. Lindsay pops that one up, it'll go foul. It goes over by the softball field. Count will remain 1-2. Anthony Rivera waiting on deck. Runners on second and first here. No one out, or one down. Lindsay awaits the 1-2. The pitch. Lindsay. Hard shot to the shortstop. Great backhand grab by Borland. Throws it on the third to get the leadoff runner. A little bit of a bad throw back to the pitcher, but no damage done. Peters is out at third. That moves Rogers to second and puts Lindsay on. So the Marauders still have runners on second and first, but now 2 outs as Anthony Rivera steps in. Ben Balo waiting on deck. Rivera now looking to move over Rogers and Lindsay. First one on the way to Anthony Rivera, the pitch. Off speed is outside for ball 1. One-0 count here. Anthony Rivera, Ryan Lindsay over at first. Jahia Rogers over at second. The 1-0 pitch to Rivera on the way. Into the dirt, ball is loose. Both runners will safely advance to second and third. And now the Marauders in a really good position here to get the scoring going early. And here we go, make it a little bit easier for Anthony Rivera. 2-0 count. The 2-0 pitch to Rivera. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Coach Casada telling me before the game, really emphasizing the team not swing it too much and try to try to take advantage of the opportunities when they're presented to them at the plate. Trying to improve a little bit of the hastily swinging against Lee Williams. A little bit more plate discipline here. The 2-1 is inside for ball 3. The count will go to 3-1. Of course, Coach Casada very happy about the win against Lee Williams, but the Marauders are looking to work on some things. They'll take on Greenway tomorrow. They'd love to take a victory away from a team like Greenway. So they'll be focusing on a lot of stuff tonight outside of getting the dub. The 3-1 on the way to Rivera. Rivera right up the middle. That'll bring around 1. Rogers will score. Lindsay will come around third and score. And how about that? The 2-out RBI single for Anthony Rivera brings around 2, and the Marauders lead 2-0. Well, like I said, it wasn't going to take much, and Rivera does a good job of putting a nice piece on something right at him, right up the middle, and is able to score 2. Marauders jumping out to a 2-0 lead here in the second inning. And that'll be Ben Balo with 1 runner on first. That is Anthony Rivera. First one on the way to Balo is high and away for ball 1. Zach Harrison waiting on deck. Harrison able to get on with a single in the first inning. Balo trying to get on with 2 outs and give Harrison an opportunity to bring him and Anthony Rivera around. The 1-0 away for ball 2. Pick off back over to first, not in time. So 2-0 count here. Runner over at first. Balo looking to move Rivera into scoring position. 2-0 on the way to Balo. The pitch off speed inside for ball 3. So Balo ahead in the count here, going to have to protect on 3-0. We'll see if he holds on 3-0 or if he goes. 2 down. 2-0 our score. The 3-0 is inside for a strike. There's a lot of question marks about swinging on 3-0. Balo, of course, opting not to swing. Draws the count 3-1. Pickoff move to first. Of course, last season, Fernando Tatis Jr. of the San Diego Padres getting a lot of flack for hitting a grand slam on a 3-0 count. And personally, I don't really care. It was a great hit as Balo gets on with a walk. Unwritten rules in the baseball landscape. As Zach Harrison steps up, runners on second and first. I mean, if it's close and it's on 3-1 or is 3-0, why not swing, But just depends on what kind of baseball you like playing, I guess. Zach Harrison able to get a single in the in the bottom of the second inning. Was stranded at first base. or excuse me, I should say he was thrown out at second on the double play attempt from the Mohave Thunderbirds. We'll see what Harrison can do here with runners on second and first. First one on the way. Harrison watches that one away for ball one. So 1-0 count here. Harrison looking for something down and trying to drive it into the outfield. The 1-0 pitch is away for ball two. Throw on to second is not in time. Rivera is going to stay. So Rivera unsure of the overthrow at second, so that keeps him at second base. So it would have been close at third. Rivera really would have had to read that one quite well to take off over to third. And maybe a good opportunity, but we'll see what Harrison can do to make up for it here. 2-0 count. The pitch on the way to Harrison. Harrison fouls that one behind us. Count will go to 2-1. So 2-1 count here. 2 outs. Runners on second and first. And we'll see what Harrison can do here. Looking for something close, trying to drive it in the outfield, bring around another 2. The 2-1. Harrison, that one's foul. So the count even now, 2-2, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Zach Harrison. Harrison looking for another single, was able to get a bloop single right behind the shortstop. We'll see what he can do here. Rivera on second, Balo on first. Mingus up 2-0 with 2 outs. The 2-2. Harrison watches that one away, very close, and the count will go full. Not a bad spot at all for Pantu to miss. And Harrison doing a good job of laying off that one, though I'm not sure if he'll get that call again. Full count here to Zach Harrison with 2 outs. The 3-2 on the way, the pitch. Pantu checks the runner at second. Now goes with the 3-2. Harrison swung on and missed on the hit and run. And that will do it. The third strikeout for Pantu and the third out for the Mohave Thunderbirds, but not before the Marauders could tack on 2 and lead 2 as we head into the third. Stay with us here on Verde Valley TV.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles, and go Marauders.
The most common reasons for bankruptcy are unforeseen circumstances like tragedies, illness, unemployment, and foreclosures. I'm Michael Gordon. We understand your situation and your need to look at all the alternatives. Call Gordon & Gordon for a free, non-judgmental bankruptcy or foreclosure consultation. Ask about zero-down bankruptcy options. Gordon & Gordon Attorneys at Law. Trust well placed.
We pick things up here in the top of the third inning. Mingus able to strike early in the second. 2-0 they lead, and they look to keep that lead here and try to keep the bats quiet of the Mohave Thunderbirds. Yahir Acero, Rex Rodinger, and it'll be the top of the order, Connor Dubois will be the 1-2-3 for the Mohave Thunderbirds. Jan Alvarez still on the mound for the Marauders, allowing one hit so far, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout, no runs. And everybody pretty much stranded at first base for the Mohave Thunderbirds. So Alvarez having another solid outing like he did last week against Mohave, and we'll see what he can do against Acero. First pitch on the way to Acero is swung on and missed for strike 1. The 0-1 on the way, the pitch is outside for ball 1. 1-1 count here to Acero. Leadoff hitter for the Mohave Thunderbirds, Rex Rodinger, waiting on deck. The 1-1 runs inside for ball 2. So Alvarez looking to settle down here with a 2-1 count. Had a 1-2-3 inning in the first, 4-batter inning in the second. See what he can do here in the third. But he's working with the lead this time, so a little bit more confidence and a little bit of a, as the pitch comes in, as that one's ripped down left field line, it'll be fair. Rogers will pick it up in left field, and Acero will stay over at first with the leadoff single. I was going to say Alvarez can kind of relax a little bit at the mound, on the mound with a 2-0 lead, or a 2-run lead, but giving up that leadoff base hit makes things a little more interesting, as now the tying run steps up at the plate, and we'll have Rex Rodinger with Acero over at first. So here in the top of the third inning, 2-0 our score. Runner over at first. No one out. One man on. Rodinger will call time. We'll see what Mohave does. The last time they had a base runner on, it was Crandall, and Crandall was thrown out at second when he tried to attempt to steal. So we'll see how aggressive Coach Rodinger wants to be with his son at the plate, and a runner over at first. Rodinger still awaiting the first offering from Alvarez, and here it comes. Pickoff move to first, not in time. You can hear the chatter from the Mohave bench behind me, or through the crowd mic. Rodinger still awaiting the first pitch from Alvarez. Again, no outs, one man on. Mingus leading 2-0. Alvarez still keeping his attention over at first with Acero. We'll go to the batter now. Rodinger fouls that one off. So Rodinger fouls that one off. Count will go to 0-1. 0-1 count to Rodinger is away for ball one. Now the count will go even at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, no outs. Runner on first here in the top of the third inning. Mingus leads 2-0. Looking to get out of this inning and tack on a few more. Alvarez again keeping his attention over at first base with Acero. We've already seen Mohave try to steal once tonight. 1-1 to Rodinger. Into left field. Rogers trying to track it down. It'll fall for a base hit and get past Rogers. Now Rivera's going to have to grab it as the backup. They'll throw it in, and everybody will stay. Rodinger goes to second. Acero goes all the way to third base, and a no-out double back-to-back hits puts Mohave in a good spot to tie things up here with the top of their lineup, and Connor Dubois stepping up. So with no one out, 2 men on, Mohave with a good opportunity here, and a guy who popped up in his first at-bat in the first inning. Alvarez would love that again as he works out of the windup. Again, runner on second and third. The first pitch on the way to Dubois. Down the line at third. Peters is not going to get it. It'll score 2. Coming around is Rodinger. Dubois will go to second. No out. No out. Double. 2 RBIs for Mohave. And they tie it up 2-0. 2-2. And now we'll see River Borland step in with a man on second. So we're all tied up here 2-2 in the top of the third inning. No one out. Dubois on at second. River Borland was a flyout victim in his first at-bat. Takes the first pitch from Alvarez. That one's foul. So Dubois able to get the 2 RBI double and tie things up here in the top of the third inning. And now Alvarez coming into this inning with a lead. Well, now it's tied. Borland awaiting the 0-1 from Alvarez. Dubois, the lone man on second, and Harrison's going to go talk to him. Probably a smart idea from Zach Harrison, try to settle his pitcher down a little bit. Give him a little bit more confidence and just tell him, hey man, settle down, no big deal. The offense will provide some runs. Still very early in this game here in the top of the third inning. Alvarez has got to settle down here, try to get an out, and slowly chip away at this Mohave offense. And is finally waking up here in the third. The 0-1, off speed, in there for strike 2. So now an 0-2 count. Alvarez looking for his first out of the inning. Looking for strikeout number 2. The 0-2 in the dirt. Good block from Harrison to keep that one in front. Count now goes to 1-2. So now a 1-2 count to Borland. One, 2 on the way. The pitch is away for ball 2. Now the count runs even at 2. McDaniel waiting on deck. Another pop-out victim in the first inning. Borland looking to extend the no-out rally here. The 2-2. That'll go foul. Schamberger tried to track it down, but ran out of real estate as it goes foul. Two count, man on second, no one out here. Mingus and Mohave tied at 2. The 2-2 is high for ball 3. So now a 3-0 count as Borland doing a good job at the plate, being selective. We'll see if it pays off for him with a man on second and a full count. Alvarez looking to settle down here and get that first out, the 3-2. Balo almost grabs it with a diving grab. It'll get past the second baseman. This should give Mohave the lead. Coming around to score is Dubois, and it will. Mohave jumps out on top, 3-2 here in the third inning after the RBI single from River Borland, and now Mohave coming into this inning down 0-2, now lead 3-2 as Devin McDaniel steps in. Of course, the double play is still a possibility for the Marauders. As we'll get a time called as the Marauders again, we'll go talk to their pitcher. I doubt we'll see any changes here, but we'll wait and see. Alvarez has still got the baseball in his hand as he faces Devin McDaniel, who popped up in the first inning. Alvarez giving up 4 hits here, 3 runs. As now Borland is the lone wolf over at first. McDaniel awaits the first offering from Alvarez. The pitch in there for strike 1. Mingus down 2-3 here in the third. They look to get their offense going in the bottom half of this inning. McDaniel will call time. So again, Alvarez keeping an eye out on the first, or the runner over at first. We'll see what Mohave does with no outs. McDaniel awaiting the 0-1, pickoff move to first, not in time. One count, runner out first. 2-3 our score here in the top of the third inning. Pitch on the way. Down the line, right past third and short. It'll be another base hit for the Mohave Thunderbirds, and now another runner is in scoring position. And Dylan Crandall, who did get on with a walk in his first at-bat in the second, will step up with no outs, a man on second, a man on first, and an opportunity here to extend this Mohave lead. The Thunderbirds leading 3-2 here. Alvarez working out of the stretch now. First one on the way to Crandall. The pitch is in there for strike 1. Off speed looking real good right now from Jan Alvarez. He's had a couple of those curveball pitches go in for strikes. Oh, 1 count. Pitch on the way. So Crandall showing bunt, pulling back as that pitch runs a little bit too inside. And now the count will go to 1-1. Crandall awaiting the pitch from Alvarez. Runners on second and first. That one's high and away. Now the count will go to 2-1. Crandall looking to get on and load the bases for the Mohave Thunderbirds. Alvarez just trying to get out number one. Pickoff move to first, not in time. Schamberger not holding the runner on at first, and Alvarez just making that move over to first. Good work again back in the stretch, trying to get out of the inning. Crandall awaiting the pitch. He'll foul that one off. So a 2-2 count. Two balls, two strikes to Dylan Crandall. Alvarez looking for out number one or possibly strike number two. Strike out number two. The 2-2. Off speed is high for ball three. So now a full count to Dylan Crandall. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Coach Quesada to see if he wants to roll with his junior pitcher if the bases are loaded or if he'll go with somebody else. The 3-2 on the way from Alvarez. The pitch. Sees that one all the way for a backwards K. His second strikeout, trying to get the back pick over at second, not in time. Crandall goes down on strikes. The Marauders have their first out of the inning, and now Mickey Pantu will step in. Or Mikey Pantu, excuse me. The pitcher for the Thunderbirds. Alvarez, first pitch on the way, runners on second and first. Off speed is high for ball one. So 1-0 count to Pantu. Alvarez again working out of the stretch. The 1-0. Over to short. Off the glove of Lindsay. Coming around to score, possibly throw on down to home. Harrison applies the tag, and they got him. Ryan Lindsay doing a great job of recovering, unable to cleanly field that ball to him over at short. He's able to make the throw down to home and get the lead runner, River Borland, out at home for out number two and keep the damage minimum. So now Pantu gets on, still runners on second and first. Two down now, and Cotter will step up. Alvarez now an opportunity to get out of the inning with only giving up three. First one on the way to Cotter. It's going to be chopped. We'll see if it stays fair. Peters has got it. Throw on to first. Is in. Oh, he's safe. Cotter able to beat it out, and the bases are loaded. It was going to be close with Peters. A little trouble getting it out of his glove. Not a bad throw from the third baseman, just not in time as Cotter beats that one out. Now Eduardo Ruiz with an opportunity to break this thing open here as Alvarez will work in the stretch. First one on the way to Ruiz. The pitch is away for ball one. Runners on every base. Eduardo Ruiz at the plate. The pitch is in there for the first strike. Count will go to 1-1. So a 1-1 count here. Runners on every base. The 1-1 is high for ball two. Cotter at first, Pantu at second, and McDaniel over at third. Eduardo Ruiz at the dish. Mohave leading 3-2 with two outs. Alvarez, the 2-1. Slow roller. Lindsay got to make the play. Short distance to second. He does it. So the Marauders get out of the inning only surrendering 3, but Mohave now leads 3-0 as we head into the bottom of the third. The Marauders look to get a couple runs back that they gave up. Stay with us.
The Suzy Q Market is the most convenient stop for road trips with 1,500 beverage selections and plenty of snacks. And save on fuel with the Marathon Make It Count reward program. The Suzy Q drive-thru window is the most convenient way to stop for those essentials on the way home.
Road trips start here with something for everyone.
At Suzy Q.
Shop local first, always.
Go Marauders!
Lawler Construction has been a premier local builder of custom residential and commercial projects for 36 years. Using green construction methods, Lawler Construction builds efficiency into every custom design. Lawler Construction is a certified Energy Star builder. For examples, visit LawlerConstructionAZ.com. They thank you for your business confidence and continued referrals. Lawler Construction, a proud supporter of baseball and softball at all levels. Look for Lawler Construction homes at Mountain Gate and Clarkdale this summer.
We pick things up here in the bottom of the third inning. The Marauders now down 3-2 after an impressive inning from the Mohave Thunderbirds, able to get to Jan Alvarez in the third inning and tack on 3 runs and get their lead here in the top of the third inning. Now we head to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be Jan Alvarez who will look to help himself out at the plate and try to bring around a couple runners and get a few runners on base and get a few runs around for him. It'll be Alvarez, Schamberger, and Peters, the 1-2-3 for the Mohave Thunderbirds. Or, excuse me, for the Mingus Marauders. So Jan Alvarez, who got on a fielder's choice, will look to get his first base hit tonight. Pantu still on the mound for Mohave. First one on the way is away for ball 1. One-0 count to Jan Alvarez. Pitch on the way is away for ball 2. It's now a quick 2-0 count here to Jan Alvarez. As I mentioned, Alvarez played very well in that win on Thursday against Lee Williams last week. 7-5 victory. He went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs and did some good work on the mound. The 2-0, that one's in there for strike 1. So now 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Schamberger and Peters are the other 2 batters for the Marauders. The 2-1, swung on a miss for strike 2. Two count here to Jan Alvarez. Looking to be the first base runner here. Again, 2-2 count here to Jan Alvarez. Pantu in the windup, the pitch. Alvarez, slow roller to second base. Coming in to get it is McDaniel. Throw on to first. Is not in time. It's loose. Alvarez will move on to second. He'll get on the throwing error. And how about Jan Alvarez? He'll be the first base runner for the Marauders as he gets on from the throwing error from the from the second baseman. And now Ryan Schamberger with an opportunity. Schamberger, a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. And now with an opportunity to get Alvarez over to third. Possibly bring him around to score and tie things up here in the third inning. And he'll do just that, right down the third base line. We'll see if Alvarez stays at third. He will. It'll be a base hit for Ryan Schamberger and the Marauders. Starting to put something together here in the third inning with no outs. And Trey Peters stepping up, and Peters has already got himself a single. Peters getting that single in the second inning. Did not come around to score, but he's got an opportunity here to tie things up with a base hit. Alvarez over at third, Schamberger over at first. Peters looking to drive something into the outfield. First one on the way. Peters watches that one in for a strike. Trey, a fixture on the basketball team for the Mingus Marauders. Also plays baseball, obviously. Probably see Peters potentially in game 2 of this doubleheader, as the 0-1 is on the way. As that one is in for a strike, and Schamberger will easily make it over to second. As the count now goes, excuse me, that was a ball, so the count will go to 1-1. Pantu will step off. Get the hair out of his eyes. Adjust his hat a little bit. Get a little more comfortable on the mound. Marauders would love back-to-back innings of scoring, especially with the way Mohave was able to get some scoring going in the top half of this inning. The 1-1. Peters off the hands. We'll see if it goes foul. Roedinger diving and unable to make the grab. Not a bad attempt there by the catcher, Rex Roedinger. Just unable to come up with it. The count will go to 1-2. Emmett Smith waiting on deck for the Mingus Marauders. Again, no outs. Runners on second and first. And here's where Mingus could come up big. As Trey Peters awaits the 1-2, the pitch on the way. Peters golf swings that one into right field. It'll fall and bring around 2. Alvarez will score. Here comes Schamberger. He is safe. Peters will get on at second, and the Marauders get their lead back and lead 4-3 here in the third inning. Didn't take much for Trey Peters, but he is able to get on with the single, advance on the throw, and the Marauders get their lead back. They now lead 4-3. And now Emmett Smith, who had a strikeout in the second inning, will look to change his luck here in the third with Peters on second and no outs. First one on the way to Smith. Swung on and missed, and they're going to say it was foul, so Peters will have to go back to second. I will be honest, I don't think I heard anything from the bat. I think it was more from Rex Roedinger's glove, but there's a reason why I'm up here and not down there calling the game. So we'll call it a foul ball. The 0-1 count for Emmett Smith. Runner on second base. The 0-1. That one's in the dirt. Pass ball. Peters should easily get over to third. He will. So Peters able to get from first to second on the advancing on the throw on his initial single, and now here on the pass ball moves from second to third. And the Marauders now a little easier to try to bring around another run and keep this no out offensive power, or whatever you want to call it. The success so far in this inning, they're going to keep it going with no outs. The 0-1 on the way to Smith. Smith swung on and missed. First strike 2. Pantu will step off. Emmett Smith awaiting the 0-2 from Pantu. The pitch into left field or center field, and it'll fall right over the head of Crandall. Smith easily brings around Peters. He will try to make it to second, and he will stay at second. An RBI double for Emmett Smith. Some clutch hitting from the junior right fielder as Emmett Smith extends the Marauder lead 5-3. Again, no outs here as Coach Roedinger will go talk to his pitcher. Well, how about that? The Marauders came into this inning down 1, or I should say, let's backtrack a little more. They came into the actual third inning, the top of the inning, up 2-0. Unfortunately, give up their lead 3-2. And then here in the third inning, in the bottom half of the inning, the Marauders able to get their lead back and now lead 5-3. Jahia Rogers will step in. Rogers doing some damage at the plate with a single, able to come around and score. One of many reasons why the Marauders have their lead here. So we're going to let a new pitcher warm up. We'll take a break. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll have the rest of the inning for you.
From the Glen Canyon Dam to the corner sidewalks, Salt River Materials Group, Phoenix Cement, has helped build Arizona and the Southwest since 1959. Much like the products they provide, Salt River Materials Group, Phoenix Cement, has a strong sense of community and contributes to it in meaningful ways. Phoenix Cement is considered a premier employer and community supporter and would like to thank their friendly neighbors for 6 decades of continued support. Think harder, think concrete.
The mouth is the gateway to the digestive system. Studies indicate a correlation between oral health and full body health. Regular cleanings and checkups can help protect you. New patients are welcome at Arizona Smile Designers in Cottonwood. There's a full smile worth of services all offered under one roof. Whitening and cosmetic to implants and smile reconstruction. Find out more or request an appointment online at azsmiledesigners.com.
River Borland, the shortstop, will pick things up on the mound for the Mohave Thunderbirds. They currently are down 5-3 as the Mingus Marauders lead here in the bottom of the third inning. Jahia Rogers will step up for the Mingus Marauders. Rogers has already got a single, and we'll see what he can do against Borland. Borland so far on the season, 1 inning pitched, 4 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, and 2 strikeouts as he comes in relief for Pan 2. The first one on the way. Rogers will lay down the bunt beautifully down third base line. Rogers looking to beat out the throw. He will, and easily gets Emmett Smith over to second, and Jahia Rogers gets on with a single. So Smith stays at second base as Rogers able to move the runner, or I should say keep the runner over, but add another base runner for the Marauders. As now Ryan Lindsay will step up. Lindsay has already got, or excuse me, I should say Lindsay got on. Lindsay got on in the second, as that one's high for ball 1. So he's looking to move around Smith and Rogers here in the bottom of the third inning. The 1-0 on the way. Watches that one in for a strike. The count will go to 1-1. Runners at second and first. Smith and Rogers are the base runners. And we'll see what Ryan Lindsay can do here. The pitch, Lindsay lays down the bunt, but it'll go foul. So liking the small ball here from Coach Quesada. Didn't see that too much against Lee Williams. Of course, the Marauders were working in a deficit the entire game, but were able to find some offense in the 5th. But nice to see some small ball here from Coach Q. With a 1-2 count here. Again, runners on second and first. Pitch on the way is past the catcher. That should move Smith and Rogers. Smith goes to third, Rogers goes to second, as both runners advance on the pass ball. And Ryan Lindsay now with a 2-2 count, and runners on second and third. No outs here in the third. The 2-2 to Lindsay. In the dirt, past Rodinger, but Smith's going to stay, and so will Rogers, as the count will go full now, 3-2. So full count here to Ryan Lindsay. Again, Lindsay got on in the second, came around to score. The 3-2 in the dirt. It'll be a walk, and the bases will be loaded. So Lindsay gets on with the walk, and Anthony Rivera, who's got a single, will step up with a huge opportunity here with bases loaded. Smith at third, Rogers at second, and now Lindsay over at first with Anthony Rivera at the dish. First one on the way. Rivera down the line, it is fair. They'll call it foul. Well, they're going to call it foul. Ooh, not a bad piece of hitting right there from Rivera. Just unfortunately falls on the wrong side of the line. So Rivera will get another opportunity here again with bases loaded. But that would have definitely brought around at least 2, maybe more. You get into that trap down third base or first base line. It's even worse down first base line. At least third base has got the gate there. And this time Rivera will piece one up into center field. It'll fall. Smith will score. Here comes Rogers. Another 2 RBI single for Anthony Rivera, and the Marauders extend their lead 7-3. Still no outs as Rivera gets on. Lindsay goes to second. Runners on second and first for Ben Balo, who's got a walk. Again, no outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Nice hit from Anthony Rivera. And now Balo awaits the first offering. The pitch. Balo down third base. Great snag. We'll see if he got the tag in time. He did. Throw on to first. Is not in time. The ball's passed. Rivera, little confusion. Finally gets over to third. Balo's safe at first. So to clear it up here, the lead runner Lindsay is out on third. A great play from Ruiz at third to get the lead runner out, get that first out. Rivera goes all the way to third, and Balo gets to first on the throwing error as Harrison pops that one up to shortstop, and it is caught. So 2 down now. So a quick 2 outs here after the RBI, the 2 RBI single from Rivera. And now Jan Alvarez, who has batted in this inning, will get an opportunity here. He actually led off the inning, was able to get on an error. And now with runners on third and first, we'll see what he can do. First one on the way. Alvarez watches that one away for a ball. Balo will not draw a throw from Rodinger. He will get to second easily with a stolen base. Love the small ball here from Coach Quesada, as well as Coach Rodinger as well. Not too many opportunities yet for Mohave, because they were able to bring around a few guys just with hits. But early on, we saw a little small ball from Coach Rodinger. Count 1-0 on the way. The pitch is in the dirt. Great block from the catcher, Rodinger. Count will go to 2-0 on Jan Alvarez. 2 outs. Alvarez would love to tack on a little bit more to his lead. Extend the Marauder lead to double digits as that one goes away, but is in for a strike. I should say, get the Marauders possibly 2 double digits. They lead 7-3 here in the third. The 2-1 on the way. That one's a little high and inside for ball 3. The count will go to 3-1. So Rivera over at third, Balo at second, and Alvarez here with a 3-1 count. The pitch. Alvarez right to the second baseman. It is caught. That is McDaniel on to first. They get out of the inning, but not before surrendering 5 as the Marauders able to get their lead back and extend their lead now 7-3. Mingus leads by 4. We head to the 4th inning. Marauders lead. Stay with us.
From the Merkin farm to your table, from their vines to your glass, Merkin Vineyards Tasting Room in Osteria, a sense of place for extended family and community. The Merkin mission is to deliver a total sustainable Arizona experience, with fruits and vegetables family farmed in the Verde Valley and vines grown on Arizona Merkin acreage. Pastas and breads made from scratch and served with daily seasonal specials. Keep an eye out for the Merkin pizza and gelato wagons using the same local ingredients.
Balancing your family, finances, and future is a lot of responsibility. Let Jennifer Griffin and her team at State Farm help. Jennifer Griffin is an Arizona native and a Mingus graduate, as well as a third-generation State Farm agent, serving you in the same Main Street location for over 35 years. Jennifer Griffin and her team want to wish all of the Mingus athletes the best of luck this season. Go Marauders! Jennifer Griffin and State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right.
Fourth inning action here as we head into the top of the fourth inning. The Marauders leading 7-3, a solid third inning, 5 runs for the Mingus Marauders as Jan Alvarez picks things up with his lead back in his hands. And we'll see what he can do here in the top half of the fourth inning. It will be for the Mohave Thunderbirds, it will be Yahir Acero and Rex Rodinger, and then the top of the order with Connor Dubois. Acero got on with a single to lead a really good inning last inning. Led off the inning when the single came around to score and gave Mohave the then lead 3-2, but of course, as we all know, just shortly after that, the Marauders were able to get their lead back as that count goes to 0-1. But Acero, a nice piece of hitting to start off last inning, and he'll look to do it here with an 0-1 count. The pitch, off speed, fouled. Acero and Rodinger, both finding base hits and bringing around a couple runs. A little tough part of the order for Jan Alvarez in the previous inning. We'll see what he can do here. He's already ahead against Acero 0-2. Looking for a quick fourth inning here. The 0-2 on the way from Alvarez. The pitch. Swung on and missed. That'll be the first strikeout of the night. Harrison will throw it on to first in time for out number 1 for Jan Alvarez. That'll be Alvarez's third strikeout of the night. And Rex Rodinger will step up. Rodinger, of course, has a double. Came around to score in the third inning to get the offensive forces going for the Mohave Thunderbirds. Alvarez, 1 out. First one on the way to Rodinger. The pitch. It'll go into the dirt for ball 1. One-0 count on the way. The pitch popped up into center field. Rivera going back, doesn't have to track it down too much. He makes the catch in center field for out number 2. So back-to-back outs for Jan Alvarez against 2 guys who really did some nice hitting against him in the previous inning. And now with an opportunity here to do it again against this time Connor Dubois. And Dubois, a double and an RBI, came around to score as well in the third. And now Alvarez, this time with 2 outs, looking for the 1-2-3 inning against 3 guys he struggled against, Dubois being one of them. First one on the way is in the dirt for ball 1. You can see on your screen there the arm sleeves of Ryan Lindsay just to show you how windy it is. I mean, it is absolutely blowing today here, the 1-0. I don't want to go foul for strike number 1. We had very similar type weather. It's a bit more sunny on Thursday, just very windy in that win against Lee Williams. And then the softball game on Tuesday of last week was all wind. So it's been really windy here in the Verde Valley, but not going to stop some baseball here with the 1-1 on the way to Dubois. That one's away for ball 2. And I will say, as somebody from Southern California, I don't mind the cold, but I'm not a fan of the winds. With a 2-1 count here, pitch on the way from Alvarez. That one will go away for ball 3. So now a 3-1 count here to Connor Dubois. Got some clouds coming in behind us. Nothing too dramatic. Heavily overcast day today. Like I mentioned, getting a lot of rain to the area. Of course, severely needed. 3-1 on the way to Dubois. The pitch. Now he watches that one all the way in for strike number 2. And the count will go full 3-2. It's kind of funny. You know, obviously our first softball game against Shadow Mountain was canceled due to weather. And then the games this week on Tuesday were canceled due to weather. As the 3-2 is on the way. And it'll go for a ball. And it'll be a walk. Dubois will stay over at first. My point being is that it's pretty funny how last year it was COVID that shut down the spring season. And now here in 2021, of course the season is still going forward. It's just the weather has been a little bit of a nightmare. But we progress on, as Dubois goes on to first. Now to be River Borland, the now pitcher for the Mohave Thunderbirds. Borland looking to tack on a few runs that he unfortunately gave up in the previous inning. 2 outs here, runner on first, the first one on the way. The pitch, low into the dirt for ball 1. Borland able to get a single and was thrown out at home, trying to advance on a great play from Ryan Lindsay at short. Took a nasty little hop, was able to recover and get the out at home to get 2 outs in a very long inning for Jan Alvarez. And now the 1-0 is away. That one's past Harrison, but not enough to move the runner. So Dubois will stay over at first. And Borland will remain at the plate. Two-0 count on the way, the pitch. Runs inside, throw on to first is not in time. Count will go to 3-0, runner is safe at first. So 3-0. Runner over at first. Alvarez looking to get out of the inning with no runs allowed. Is only allowed to walk so far. The 3-0, popped up foul. A strikeout, a fly out, and a walk. And here we are with 2 outs and a runner on first. Count goes to 3-1 on River Borland. Mingus up 7-3 with 2 down. Alvarez in the stretch. Waits the 3-1, the pitch. Golf swing again. Borland will get a base hit past the middle of third and short. Trying to advance is Dubois, but he will stay at second. It'll be a single for Borland with 2 outs. And now Devin McDaniel, who's also got a single tonight, will step up with runners on second and first. Devin McDaniel, as I mentioned, popped out in the first inning. Got a single and stayed at third and third. And with runners on second and first, Alvarez just trying to get out of the inning without allowing a run. First one on the way. The pitch. Popped up. We'll see who nestles under it. Lindsay is hustling forward at short. Coming in as well is the left fielder. Making the grab is Jahia Rogers, able to get the 3rd out for the Marauders, and they walk away with not bringing any runs around, stranding 2, and now they'll head to their half of the 4th to try to tack on a few more runs and walk away with keep their lead. They lead 7-3. Stay with us.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare 23 insurance companies for home, health, auto, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance. Call or visit All Price Insurance today.
Accidents happen. Red Rock Collision knows that your car is the 2nd largest investment you're likely to make. For over 15 years, Red Rock Collision has been there to negotiate for you, the customer, not the insurance company. John and his staff promise quality repair with honesty and integrity. You can rest easy now. They'll return your car as safe as the day it was built.
It'll be Trey Peters, Emmett Smith, and Jahia Rogers, the 1-2-3 for the Mingus Marauders as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Mingus leading Mohave 7-3. And still on the mound for the Mohave Thunderbirds is number 2, River Borland. Borland, a tough inning in the 3rd, but looks to come here in the 4th and try to shut down the Marauder bats and give Mohave an opportunity to try to chip into this deficit and possibly take the lead. once we head into the 5th inning. But here in the bottom of the 4th, it'll be Ryan Schamberger, Trey Peters, and Emmett Smith as the 1-2-3. Schamberger is single in the 3rd inning. Got on with that single, got a stolen base, and was able to come around and score and struck out in his first at-bat. First one on the way. Schamberger pieces that one up in the left center. That one will fall. 4-base hit. Schamberger will go around first. Looking to round second. We'll see if he can make it all the way to third. Schamberger, the relay. It's going to be close. Schamberger is safe. Leadoff triple for Ryan Schamberger. And how about the Marauders here in the bottom of the 4th inning? Ryan Schamberger finds the second hit. And we'll see what Trey Peters has got. Nice piece of hitting from Ryan Schamberger. The first baseman with a leadoff triple here in the bottom of the 4th. And now Trey Peters will look to bring him around and keep this inning going with no outs. Peters already got two singles, so far tonight. Off speed is in the dirt, past Rodinger. Coming in to score is Schamberger. And how about that? And now Trey Peters. 8-3, Marauders lead. No one on, no outs. Peters, a single in the 2nd and a single in the 3rd. As that one goes low for ball 2. Two-0 count on the way, the pitch. Peters swung on and missed for strike 1. Two balls, 1 strike. Peters swung on and missed on that one. The count will now go 2-2, so make that 2 balls, 2 strikes. No outs, no one on. Schamberger able to lead off the inning with a triple. Scored on the pass ball, and now Peters with a 2-2 count. The pitch. Pieces that one off the hands. Coming to get him is Borland, and he will. So an unassisted ground ball there for the pitcher. And that'll be 1 down for the Mohave Thunderbirds, and we'll see Emmett Smith step up. Smith had a double, came around to score last inning, and has a strikeout as well on his record. Trey Peters giving his Marauder hitter some advice about what to expect from Borland. And now Emmett Smith with 1 down and no one on will look to keep the rally going. The pitch is high and inside for ball 1. One-0 count on the way to Smith. The pitch. Smith watches that one all the way in for a strike, and the count will go even at 1. Smith again got on with a double in the 3rd inning and came around to score and struck out in the 2nd. And again, 1-1 count, no one on the pitch. Runs inside for ball 2. You know, it's funny, you'd think Emmett Smith, very obviously name connection with the football player. 2-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2, but it's a unique name, but such a simple name, Emmett Smith. Of course, you Cardinals fans will very aware of Emmett Smith, the football player. He played the second half, or if you want to say the second half, the tail end of his career with the Arizona Cardinals. 2-2 on the way to the Marauders, Emmett Smith. He watches that one. Not a bad spot there from Borland on that off speed to draw the count full. But it's just so funny. Obviously I have a pretty nightmare of a last name, but Emmett Smith being a very common name, it turns out it's got a couple connections. The 3-2, Smith fouls that one off. But the Marauders' Emmett Smith, who plays right field and is a junior, has got a full count with 1 down. Three-two count. Smith looking to be another base runner for the Marauders. Swung on and missed. It'll be another strikeout. The first for Borland, the second for Smith. And now Jahia Rogers, who has been absolutely el fuego tonight. 2 hits in the 2nd and the 3rd. Came around to score on both times. We'll see what he can do. Rogers looking to get a 2-out rally going for the Marauders. They still lead 8-3. That one's in the dirt for ball 1. 1-0 on the way. Pitch. Check swing. He did go. It will be a strike. One count to Jahia Rogers. The pitch. Rogers way out in front on that one for strike 2. Nice off speed there from Borland, taking it off. Taking a little off there. One-two count. Off the hands. We'll see if it falls for a base hit, and it will. Rogers somehow finds himself a single. He will stay over at first, trying to advance, but Jahia Rogers 3 for 3 in game 1 and gives the Marauders a base runner with 2 outs. And now we'll see Ryan Lindsay step up, who got on in the second, got on in the third. We'll see if he can get on here in the fourth. Jahia Rogers over at first base. First one on the way. Lindsay watches that one in for a strike. Take a whole lot for Jahia Rogers to find that base hit. Just kind of muscles it into center left field. The 0-1. Slow roller. Picked up by Ruiz. Ruiz throw on to first is in time. Great play from the third baseman Eduardo Ruiz to get out of the inning. But not before the Marauders can bring around one and extend their lead 8-3 as we head into the fifth. Stay with us.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare 23 insurance companies for home, health, auto, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance. Call or visit All Price Insurance today.
Accidents happen. Red Rock Collision knows that your car is the second largest investment you're likely to make. For over 15 years, Red Rock Collision has been there to negotiate for you, the customer, not the insurance company. John and his staff promise quality repair with honesty and integrity. You can rest easy now. They'll return your car as safe as the day it was built.
It'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters for the Mohave Thunderbirds. Dylan Crandall will lead things off for Mohave here in the top of the fifth inning. Philip Catafamo, happy to have you along with me for game 1 of our doubleheader, as the Mingus Marauders currently lead 8-3 against the Mohave Thunderbirds. Jan Alvarez still on the mound for the Marauders. Crandall, a walk and a strikeout so far tonight. First one on the way is away for ball 1. On the way of the pitch. Alvarez gets that one inside for strike 1. So the count will go to 1-1 against Crandall. Mingus able to bring around a run in the bottom of the fourth inning to extend their then 7-3 lead to 8-3. Probably look for a few more insurance runs and then try to close things out as that off speed runs inside for ball 2. Try to finish things off and then get ready for game 2. Of course, we will have game 2 for you right here on Verde Valley TV. 2-1 on the way to Crandall. The pitch runs low for ball 3. Of course, the Marauders were supposed to head to Mohave on Tuesday, but due to weather, their away game against the Mohave Thunderbirds was canceled and moved to today, obviously, and then the doubleheader for softball, they were supposed to have a home game against Mohave. Obviously, that got canceled as well. The 3-1, chopped foul. Count will go full. So now the Mingus girls softball team is on the way to Mohave. They should already be there playing their first game as well. Whereas the Mohave boys baseball team traveled down to take on Mingus. 3-2 on the way, the pitch. Off speed is foul. So Crandall doing a good job of protecting at the plate with full count. Anything close, he's going to have to take a swing at it. Leadoff hitter for the Mohave Thunderbirds looking to get on, looking for his first base hit of the night. Alvarez, the 3-2 offering, the pitch. Into center field, Rivera's going to have to track it down. It's going to get over his head. Crandall rounds first base, looking for 2, possibly 3. Marauders trying to get the relay in to Lindsay. Lindsay's not going to field it cleanly. He's still going to keep going. Crandall's got himself an inside the park home run. What a way to get your first base hit. Crandall coming all the way around the score. And now Mingus leading by 5, 8-4. Excuse me, leading by 4, 8-4. There we go. Gotta love the simple math. So 8-4 our score. Mingus's lead was 5, now it is 4. And now Mikey Pantu will check in. Pantu was the pitcher, then was taken out. And now he's looking for another base hit. First one on the way to Pantu is foul. Of course, this now is where Alvarez is going to have to settle down, try to find a couple outs. Don't want to give up your lead. Of course, still a few runs with between these two teams. If Alvarez can make quick work of Pantu, Cotter, and Ruiz, he can get out of this inning with really only minimal damage as that one goes high for ball 1. One count. Alvarez, the pitch. Into center. Rivera will let it bounce in front of him. It'll be a single with no outs for Pantu. And now Alex Cotter will check in. Cotter's got a single. Got on with the fielder's choice in the second inning. Got on with a single in the third. And now with a runner over at first. Cotter looking to move the man into scoring position, whereas Alvarez would love a double play here. Cotter awaiting the first pitch from Alvarez. The offering is inside for ball 1. One-0 count to Cotter. The pitch from Alvarez is high. Back pick over to first, and it's not in time. Harrison, that throw down to first just on the wrong side of the bag. Had that throw been a little more on pace, maybe he would have gotten the runner at first, but regardless, 2-0 count here, no outs. Cotter awaiting the 2-0 from Alvarez. Pantu over at first, and Alvarez still watching the runner. And we got time. So Cotter still awaiting the 2-0 from Alvarez. The pitch, swung on and missed for strike 1. A high heat from Jan Alvarez. So now a 2-1 count here with a runner at first. No outs. Alvarez would love a double play here. Taking off his Pantu. The Marauders are going to look to pick him off. We've got a pickle. Alvarez tosses it over to Sam Berger, and the Marauders get him. 1 down now. Great defense from the Marauders, and Alvarez, a big smile, getting that first out. And now Cotter will step up again here. 2-1 count now, no one on with 1 down. Good little morale booster for the Marauders defense. The 2-1 on the way. That'll go right into the mask of the umpire. He looks okay, this is good. That'll be a ball, so the count will go 3-1. And now Harrison will retrieve the ball. Umpire is okay. And Harrison will talk with Alvarez on the 3-1 count. You got to assume Cotter's probably going to hold off on something a little outside or a little high. But I wouldn't doubt with anything close, Cotter might take a hack at it with 3-1, especially with Mohave down 8-4. And only a few more innings left here in game 1. Again, we will have game 2 for you right here on Verde Valley TV. See what Coach Rodinger wants Cotter to do. 3-1 count, 1 down, no one on. The 3-1. Foul. Count will go full. So now a 3-2 count to Alex Cotter. Again, Cotter's already got a single tonight. And with a full count, we'll look to get on for Mohave. Again, Mingus leading 8-4 here in the top of the 5th. The 3-2 from Alvarez. The windup and the pitch. In the dirt, it'll be a walk. So Cotter will get on with a walk. Eduardo Ruiz will step up. Ruiz got a single in the 3rd, struck out in the 4th. Came around to score in that 3rd inning. And now Ruiz looks to chip away. Or excuse me, Ruiz is hitless so far. So he's looking for his first hit here. And what a time to get it with a runner on first. And only 1 down. Cotter over at first, 1 down. Eduardo Ruiz at the plate looking for his first hit of the night. Alvarez, the first offering. Down the line, foul. Oh, 1 count here to Eduardo Ruiz. Cotter over at first. The 0-1 on the way. The pitch. Off speed is high for ball 1. One count to Eduardo Ruiz. Again, Cotter over at first. Only 1 down here in the top of the 5th inning. Mingus leading 8-4. The 1-1. Ruiz again right down 3rd base line, but foul. So now the count 1-2, and now a good opportunity here for Alvarez to get Ruiz out and go after Yahir Acero. The 1-2 on the way to Ruiz. The pitch from Alvarez. Off speed. Unable to get the call. Not a bad spot to miss from Jan Alvarez, and good framing there from Harrison, but does not get the call. Cotter takes a good lead over at first. 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Alvarez. Off speed is outside. That'll be ball number 3, and Cotter will move over to second on the pass ball, and the count is full to Eduardo Ruiz. Get a couple fresh baseballs over to the umpire. Full count here, 1 down. Cotter now over at second, takes away the double play opportunity. The 3-2 on the way to Ruiz. The pitch is fouled and out of play. The wind is really starting to pick up now. Three-two count to Ruiz. Man on second. Pitch on the way from Alvarez. Off speed. Just barely gets a piece of it. Balo to first, gets the out for out number 2, but it is enough to move Cotter over to third. So 2 down now is Yahir Acero, who does have a single tonight. Got it in the third, came around to score, and then struck out in the fourth. We'll look to bring Cotter around and cut the deficit to 3. First one on the way, the pitch. Off speed in the dirt for ball 1. Schamberger trying to talk to his pitcher. Maybe see something over at third base or. So we'll reset here. 0-1 count to Yahir Acero. The 0-1 on the way from Alvarez. The pitch. Acero gets a piece of that one, but it goes foul. Count will go to 0-2. Alvarez looking for out number 3. Trying to get out of the inning with minimal damage. Only 1 run come across so far. The inside the park home run from Dylan Crandall to lead off the inning. 0-2 count to Acero. Looking to go into the bottom of the 5th, still leading 8-4. The 0-2. Got him. Beautiful off speed from Jan Alvarez, and he gets. Oh. Excuse me. I had my count wrong. So that count is not. Let me reset here. So the count actually goes to 1 and 2. That was the second strike. I must have missed a ball here, but the 1-2 count now on the way. Alvarez still looking for that first strikeout. This time he will get it. The backwards K got him. And the Marauders head into the bottom half of their inning with their lead still intact, only giving up 1 run here in the top of the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Mingus leads 8-4. Stay with us.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles, and go Marauders.
The most common reasons for bankruptcy are unforeseen circumstances like tragedies, illness, unemployment, and foreclosures. I'm Michael Gordon. We understand your situation and your need to look at all the alternatives. Call Gordon & Gordon for a free, non-judgmental bankruptcy or foreclosure consultation. Ask about zero-down bankruptcy options. Gordon & Gordon Attorneys at Law. Trust well placed.
Anthony Rivera, Ben Balo, and Zach Harrison are the 1, 2, 3 for the Mingus Marauders as we pick things up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Marauders lead 8-4, and we'll look to tack on a few more runs. Gave up 1 in the top half of the 5th, but still carry their lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Mingus looking for their second home win of the season. It'll be back-to-back wins for the Marauders. Of course, this will be a doubleheader. We'll have the second game right after this. And hopefully, it'll be 3 straight wins for the Marauders, but of course, only time will tell. Anthony Rivera steps in. First one on the way is swung on a miss for strike 1. Nice off speed there from Borland, the pitcher on the mound for the Mohave Thunderbirds. Borland coming in relief of Pantu. The 0-1 count, that one's in the dirt. Now the ball count will go to 1-1. Rivera has already got 2 hits tonight, looking for hit number 3. The 1-1 is high for ball 2. The 2-1 on the way. That one's in the dirt for ball 3. Isaiah Godina waiting on deck, as Rivera will find his third base hit right between third and short. And he'll stay at first with a leadoff single. Isaiah Godina will step in. Godina filling in for Ben Balo. So Godina now stepping in. He's looking for his first base hit in his first at-bat with a runner over at first. First one on the way to Godina. The pitch taken off as Rivera. We'll see if he can beat the throw. Rodinger throws it down. It is not in time. It'll be a stolen base for Anthony Rivera. Oh, 1 count to Isaiah Godina. Godina awaits the 0-1 from Borland. The pitch. Godina down third base line. It is foul. Not a bad piece there from Godina, just unable to get the correct side of the line. So an 0-2 count to Isaiah Godina, the freshman. The 0-2. Godina swung on and missed for out number 1. And now we'll see Zach Harrison step up with a runner over at second. Harrison a single in the first, struck out in the second, and popped up in the third. 1 for 3 so far for the junior catcher. First one on the way from Borland. Back pick right into the ribs of Rivera, but he's all right. Gonna do a little bit of stretching there. Took a hop right into his, looks maybe right into his armpit, but Rivera seems okay. Of course Borland did not mean that on that back pick. Or nope, Rivera might be in a little bit more pain than initially anticipated. So Coach Casada going out to check on his center fielder. I can tell you from experience, catching a baseball into the ribs is not fun. Regardless if it takes a hop or not, it's definitely not fun. So here we go. We reset with Zach Harrison, still awaiting the first pitch from Borland. Rivera is okay and will remain at second base. First one on the way is in there for a strike. Harrison looking for his second hit of the night. Oh, 1 count here. Pitch on the way. Popped up behind us. It will go foul. So an 0-2 count. Man over at second base. That's Anthony Rivera. Harrison at the dish. Only 1 down for the Marauders. The 0-2 is in the dirt. Great pick from Rodinger. Count will go to 1 and 2. One, 2 count here for Harrison. Looking for some solid contact. The pitch. Swung on and missed. It'll be a drop third strike. Tossed over to first in time. Rivera is going to be safe at third. So Harrison goes down on strikes, but it is enough to bring around Rivera to third. So Jan Alvarez with an opportunity to get the run back that he gave up in the top half of the 5th as he steps into bat looking for his first hit of the night. Alvarez did get on with the fielder's choice, and he was caught stealing at first, in the first inning, excuse me. And then got on with an error as he pieces that one up in a straightaway center field. There's the gap we talked about between center and right. Alvarez does get the run that he gave up. He will get on with a 2-out double, and the Marauders extend their lead 9-4. What a way to get your first hit, the first pitch swinging for Jan Alvarez. And he brings around Anthony Rivera, and now it will be Ryan Schamberger, who's got a single and a triple, as well as a strikeout. And we'll see what he can do. Schamberger watches that one all the way in for a strike, or excuse me, for a ball. One 0 count here. Borland will step off as we get the defensive shift. That's Pantu out in center field.
Wide open right there.
Schamberger, the pitch. That one will go foul. You saw where Alvarez put it into that big gap into center right. Again, you have to play the wind. The wind is blowing more towards left field, so anything in the air is going to drift to your right if you're facing the baseball. So Mohave trying to do the best that they can to work in that shift, but they do leave a huge gap out in right and in between center and right, as a great play from Borland. He gets that one easily over to first for out number 3. So the Marauders able to get the run they gave up. They still lead 9-5 as we head into the top of the 6th. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Suzy Q Market is the most convenient stop for road trips with 1,500 beverage selections and plenty of snacks. And save on fuel with the Marathon Make It Count reward program. The Suzy Q drive-thru window is the most convenient way to stop for those essentials on the way home.
Road trips start here with something for everyone.
At Suzy Q.
Shop local first, always.
Go Marauders!
Lawler Construction has been a premier local builder of custom residential and commercial projects for 36 years. Using green construction methods, Lawler Construction builds efficiency into every custom design. Lawler Construction is a certified Energy Star builder. For examples, visit LawlerConstructionAZ.com. They thank you for your business confidence and continued referrals. Lawler Construction, a proud supporter of baseball and softball at all levels. Look for Lawler Construction homes at Mountain Gate and Clarkdale this summer.
Rex Rodinger will lead things off for the Mohave Thunderbirds against Ryan Lindsay, who steps on the mound in relief of Jan Alvarez. A great outing for Jan Alvarez, only allowing 4 runs in about, let's say, 5 innings pitched. As we head into the top of the 6th inning, we'll see what Ryan Lindsay's got for the Mohave Thunderbirds. Alvarez still in the lineup. He just moves over to shortstop, and then Lindsay takes over his position at pitcher. Our first offering of Ryan Lindsay on the mound. Lindsay usually finding himself over at shortstop. But Coach Quesada seeing what he's got up out on the hill. So again, Rex Rodinger will lead things off. Rodinger does have a hit tonight as that one goes in for a ball. Rodinger, the catcher. A double in the 3rd, came around to score, flew out in the 4th, and that's all he's done so far. Gets the 0-1 count from Lindsay, gets that one into right field. It will fall for a bloop single. Coming to grab it is Emmett Smith, and it'll be a leadoff base hit for Rex Rodinger, his 2nd in game 1 of our doubleheader. And now it'll be Connor Dubois. Dubois, a pop-up in the 1st, a double in the 3rd, and a walk in the 4th. 1 for 2 with a walk. Now he steps up in the 6th with a man on first. Lindsay keeping an eye on the runner on first. Pitch on the way from the senior pitcher is in the dirt. Harrison, a great pick behind the dish as that one goes for a ball. One 1-0 count to Dubois. The pitch in the dirt. Throw down to first. Did they get him in time? They did not. So the count will go to 2-0. Roedinger may have hurt himself a little bit, but he's okay. So Roedinger stays over at first base, no outs. 2-0 count to Connor Dubois. Ryan Lindsay in relief for the Marauders here. The 2-0 in the dirt for ball 3. The 3-0. Lindsay looking for his first out. Dubois will show bunt and watch that one go in for a strike. The 3-1 count to Dubois. The pitch. Gets it off the hands. It might fall in. Nope, Rivera is there to grab it. Out number 1 on the flyout. And Ivy River Borland stepping in. Borland started the game at short, came in relief of Pantu, and is now our pitcher on the mound. Looking to help out his own cause with a man on first. 1 down here in the top of the 6th inning. First one on the way back pick is not going to be in time. First one on the way to Borland. Pickoff move to first. Did they get him? They did not. Very close play, but not in time. Borland's still waiting for the first pitch. Big lead from Roedinger over at first, just testing the throw of Lindsay. Probably see him take off here. Pitch, and it's foul. Oh, 1 count here. Lindsay looking for his second and possibly third out if we get that double play. The 0-1. Popped up into center field. Rivera going to track it down, going back. Makes the catch, looking to get the double up at first, excuse me. Not going to be a clean throw. So Peters will come pick it up. Roedinger is safe over at first, and back-to-back flyouts. Gives the Marauders 2 outs, and Devin McDaniel will step up. McDaniel, a single in the 3rd, pop up in the 1st, and a flyout in the 4th. 1 for 3 so far. McDaniel, the junior second baseman, looking to move Roedinger from first. Lindsay working out of the stretch. Pickoff move to first is not in time. Lindsay thought he got him, but it is not close. Lindsay will step off again. So McDaniel still waiting for the first offering with 2 outs. The pitch. It will almost be caught by Peters. Peters has got to recover it. He will. He takes a little bit of a hard spill on that dive. Almost had it in his glove as Peters looks to recover here, but it will be a single for McDaniel and move Roedinger over to second. What a way to end the inning had Peters made that grab, but regardless, we'll continue here with 2 outs. McDaniel over at first, Roedinger over at second now, and Dylan Crandall, who's got an inside the park home run, and that's all he's done so far, a strikeout and a walk. But an impressive hit in the 5th inning that was able to bring himself around to score. The only run that came around last inning. Man on second and first, the first offering from Lindsay is inside for a ball. Not a bad spot to miss from Ryan Lindsay on that inside part of the plate. Doesn't get the call though. One 1-0 count. Lindsay in the stretch. Pickoff move to first, and they did not get him. Very close. I don't know about that one, but he's safe. Close play over at second. As Crandall will stay alive here at the plate. 1-0 count. The pitch from Lindsay. Crandall watches that one inside for a ball. Count will go to 2-0. I don't usually like to question the umpire's calls, but I will say, I don't know about that call over at second. 2-0 count on the way from Lindsay. The pitch. Found the strike zone on that one. Count will go to 2-1. So now a 2-1 count here to Dylan Crandall. Ryan Lindsay with runners on second and first, 2 outs, trying to limit the damage. The 2-1. Foul. So Crandall, a 2-2 count, runners on second and first. Pitch on the way. 2-2 off speed outside for a ball. The count will go full. 3-2 count to Crandall. Lindsay trying to get out of it. Ground ball. Godina grabs it. Will not make the throw. But what a great job as the Marauders may have gotten a man at home. The throw is in time. Rodinger is out at home. Godina with a great grab at second, able to get the throw on to first. Did not get the out, but on the recovery to home, the Marauders able to get the out and end the inning and keep their lead intact. Mingus. Will head into the bottom of the sixth with their lead intact, 9-4.
From the Glen Canyon Dam to the corner sidewalks, Salt River Materials Group, Phoenix Cement, has helped build Arizona and the Southwest since 1959. Much like the products they provide, Salt River Materials Group, Phoenix Cement, has a strong sense of community and contributes to it in meaningful ways. Phoenix Cement is considered a premier employer and community supporter and would like to thank their friendly neighbors for 6 decades of continued support. Think harder, think concrete.
The mouth is the gateway to the digestive system. Studies indicate a correlation between oral health and full body health. Regular cleanings and checkups can help protect you. New patients are welcome at Arizona Smile Designers in Cottonwood. There's a full smile worth of services all offered under one roof. Whitening and cosmetic to implants and smile reconstruction. Find out more or request an appointment online at azsmiledesigners.com.
Peters, Emmett Smith, and Jahia Rogers are the 1-2-3 for the Mingus Marauders as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. The Marauders keep their lead 9-4, an exciting play to end the bottom of the the top of the 6th inning. Isaiah Godina at second, able to make the grab and throw it right down to home to get the final out of that inning and keep this lead intact. Again, Mingus leads 9-4 here as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. Again, once this game concludes, we will have one more for you. We've got a doubleheader tonight as the game on Tuesday against Mohave was canceled. So the Thunderbirds thought, well, if we're going to be down here, we might as well play 2. So they are. So now Trey Peters will step up. Peters with a single and another single. Grounded out in his last at-bat in the 4th. And now here in the 6th, we'll see what Peters can do. Borland still on the mound for Mohave, the first one on the way. Swung on a miss for strike 1. Oh, 1 count here to Trey Peters. Pitch on the way. That'll go low for ball 1. 1-1 count here to Peters. The pitch on the way. It'll go foul. Count will go to 2-1. Again, Peters single in the double, single, oh my goodness, single in the second, single in the third, and then grounded out in the fourth inning. And here in the sixth, he's got a 1-2 count with no outs. Pitch, off speed, again off the hands, right past the diving Ruiz. It'll be another single for Trey Peters. He leads off this inning with a base hit. So Peters gets on with a single, and now Emmett Smith will step up. Smith with 2 strikeouts on the night and a double. As Ruiz gets checked out, may have fallen on his hand there, on his throwing hand, but he's okay. So Smith with a runner on first, no outs, the pitch. Rips that one right down the third base line. Back-to-back singles for the Marauders. Peters stays at second. Smith will stay at first. It's back-to-back hits for Mingus here in the sixth. And now it'll be Jahia Rogers. Rogers 3 for 3 tonight. Rogers looking to bring around a few Marauders himself. As Borland will step off, Ruiz is definitely hurt. Hurting that throwing hand, so we'll get a couple substitutions and shift some things around. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get you the substitutions. We will continue the bottom of the sixth inning. Mingus leads 9-4 with no outs and runners on second and first.
From the Merkin farm to your table, from their vines to your glass, Merkin Vineyards Tasting Room in Osteria, a sense of place for extended family and community. The Merkin mission is to deliver a total sustainable Arizona experience, with fruits and vegetables family farmed in the Verde Valley and vines grown on Arizona Merkin acreage. Pastas and breads made from scratch and served with daily seasonal specials. Keep an eye out for the Merkin pizza and gelato wagons using the same local ingredients.
Balancing your family, finances, and future is a lot of responsibility. Let Jennifer Griffin and her team at State Farm help. Jennifer Griffin is an Arizona native and a Mingus graduate, as well as a third-generation State Farm agent, serving you in the same Main Street location for over 35 years. Jennifer Griffin and her team want to wish all of the Mingus athletes the best of luck this season. Go Marauders! Jennifer Griffin and State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right.
So Ruiz will go out to right field. Pantu will move over to third. Cotter will go to first. And we are still awaiting a center fielder. So still no center fielder for Mohave. I think Mohave is playing with 8. We'll see what's going on here as Coach Casada will talk with the umpire. So again, Ruiz is in right field. Pantu moves over to third. So we'll see what happens here. We're just trying to get some clarification. It looks like Mojave's only got 8 guys on the field right now. I'm not sure if they're waiting for somebody. Yes, here comes the substitution. And takes off. It'll be number 12. That is... That'll be Crandall. So Crandall will move around as well. Crandall will go from not playing in the field, or excuse me, Crandall was in center, so he's actually making his way back out to center field. So Ruiz will go to center, Crandall will go to right, Connors at first, Pantu is over at third, and now we're back to where we are. So anyway, Jahia Rogers 3 for 3 tonight with a big opportunity with no outs and runners on second and first. Looking to go 4 for 4 and possibly bring around a few more. Pitch on the way from Borland. Rogers will show a bunt, that'll go foul. Ryan Lindsay waiting on deck. Rogers, the 0-1, the pitch. Runs way inside. Back pick over to first is not in time. Count will go to 1-0. Emmett Smith is safe over at first. Peters over at second. 1-1 count here to Jahia Rogers. The 1-1. Rogers will show bunt again and will not get it down, so the count will go to 1-2. Rogers did get on with a bunt in the third, did come around to score. Just trying to move the guys over and possibly put Ryan Lindsay in a good situation to just knock one into the outfield to bring around Peters and Smith. Rogers awaits the 1-2, the pitch. Gets it off the hands, off the glove of Borland. It only plays at first. Borland throws it over to first, not in time. Peters will score on the overthrow. Smith will go over to third. Smith is going to round third, looking to come home. Smith, throw at the plate is not in time. Smith is in safely. And the Marauders tack on 2 more. Jahia Rogers able to get on the throwing error. So the Marauders bring around 2. Rogers gets on. And the Marauders with no outs here. Ryan Lindsay with an opportunity. The pitch. Lindsay swung on a miss. Throw down to third, looking for the first out. They got him. Great throw from Roedinger to get Rogers out, trying to steal. And so now 1 down for the Mohave Thunderbirds as Mingus now leads 11-4. First pitch on the way to Lindsay is fouled. Great job by Roedinger at the plate to get the running Jahia Rogers. The 0-2. Into right field. Coming over to get it, and unable to make the grab is the right fielder. And it'll fall for a base hit. So Lindsay gets on. Right fielder, that is Crandall, excuse me. Crandall unable to make the grab and right. And now Anthony Rivera, who has also had a really good game so far, 3 for 3, will step up with a runner on first. Pitch on the way to Rivera. The first offering from Borland. Rivera chases that one low, it goes foul. Isaiah Godino waiting on deck. Of course, this is game 1 of our doubleheader. We'll have game 2 right after this for you. Pick off over to first, not in time. So an 0-1 count here. The throw on the way from Borland is high for ball 1. One count here to Rivera, man on first. 1 down. The pitch. Right over to shortstop. Fielded cleanly. Throw on to second. And no throw over to first. Maybe could have gotten him, but the transition from second to first just a little not clean enough. So Rivera gets on. Lindsay is out. And now Isaiah Godina, who struck out in his first at-bat, his only at-bat, and coming in substitution for Ben Balo, will step up here with a runner on first and 2 down. Back pick not in time. Marauders leading 11-4 here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Godina is popped up and will go foul. Oh, 1 count here to Isaiah Godina. Man over at first. Borland. Pitch on the way on 0-1. Off speed, runs inside for a ball. Godina had a great grab over at second a couple innings ago. Tried to make the throw at first, didn't have it in time, but as the runner was taken off from third going home, Ryan Schamberger was able to get the man over at home as that one goes in the dirt for ball 2. Ryan Schamberger making a great throw down to Zach Harrison, the catcher for the Marauders, and Mingus taking a run away from the Mohave Thunderbirds. And good heads-up play there from Ryan Schamberger to get the runner going. The 2-1. Now to go to 3-1. And speaking of Zach Harrison, he waits on deck. Behind him in the hole is Jan Alvarez. The 3-1. Runs inside for ball 4, and it'll be a walk for Isaiah Godina. He gets on. Rivera moves over to second, and Godina goes to first, and now we will see Zach Harrison with 2 outs. We'll see what Zach Harrison does. Harrison, 1 hit in the first inning, struck out in the 2nd and 5th, and popped up in the 3rd inning. So Harrison looking to get the 2-out rally continued. 11-4 our score. Popped up and foul. I'm sure our producer John Stabe loved that baseball against our truck, but no damage done, thankfully. Harrison now awaits the 0-1 pitch. Runs inside, count will go to 1-1. 1-1 count here with 2 outs, man on second and first. Harrison looking to drive around 2 potentially. The 1-1 runs way inside for ball 2. Coach Roedinger will bring the entire infield in to talk to Borland. So close to getting out of this inning. Giving up 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 walk, as we will get a substitution mid-batter. So instead, it will be a new pitcher coming into a 2-1 count against Harrison, and that new pitcher is Devin McDaniel. So now McDaniel will pitch. And Harrison will keep his 2-1 count with 2 outs as we let McDaniel warm up. So Pantu, Borland, and now McDaniel, the 3 pitchers for Mohave. Pantu only going about 5. Gave up a few hits. 7 earned runs and 2 strikeouts. And then Borland in relief, giving up 4 runs on 3 innings pitched, or maybe just a little under 3 innings. And he had 3 strikeouts. And now we will see what Devin McDaniel can do as he comes in for relief to try to get the final out of this inning against a very tough out in Zach Harrison. Of course, Harrison's been pretty quiet tonight. Only a single, 2 strikeouts, and a pop-up. We'll see what the leadoff hitter can do with men on second and first. Rivera over at second, and Isaiah Godina over at first. Again, we will have the second game of this doubleheader for you right after this one concludes, as Harrison steps in again, a 2-1 count. The Marauders' next game, outside of obviously the ones coming up after this, will be against Greenway on Friday, on the road to Greenway, and they will be back home next Tuesday against Flagstaff. And of course, you can catch that game right here on Verde Valley TV. So 2-1 count here to Zach Harrison. The pitch from McDaniel runs inside. Now the count will go to 3-1. So now a 3-1 count to Zach Harrison. The pitch. Harrison to the short. Throw on to second is in time, and that will do it. So McDaniel does his job. He gets the Mohave Thunderbirds out of the inning. And we head to the top of the 7th. The Marauders just need 3 for another win. We'll head into the 7th. Stay with us.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare 23 insurance companies for home, health, auto, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance. Call or visit All Price Insurance today.
Accidents happen. Red Rock Collision knows that your car is the second largest investment you're likely to make. For over 15 years, Red Rock Collision has been there to negotiate for you, the customer, not the insurance company. John and his staff promise quality repair with honesty and integrity. You can rest easy now. They'll return your car as safe as the day it was built.
We pick things up here in the top of the 7th inning. Ryan Lindsay looking to close things out for the Mingus Marauders as they look for their second home win in 2021 and look to carry this momentum into our second game tonight against these Mohave Thunderbirds. As I mentioned, Mingus leading 11-4, and Lindsay working with a good cushion to try to close things out before we head to game number 2. Lindsay, of course, coming in for relief of Jan Alvarez in the 6th inning, was able to get the Mohave Thunderbirds out in 4 batters, and now here in the 7th, he looks to close things out and help the Marauders to their second home win this season. Alvarez, though, had a pretty good outing. Ten hits, 4 innings pitched, and so far only 4 runs allowed. Of course, Alvarez no longer on the dish for those. That one goes behind the batter. That is Mikey Panto, as he watches that first one for a ball. Panto, a single in the 2nd, got on in the 3rd, and got on in the 5th. As the count goes quickly to 2-0. Lindsay looking to settle down here, try to get Panto out. I'm going to go for a ball, and the count will go 3-0. So 3-0 count to Panto. Pitch on the way from Lindsay. That one does find the strike zone. The count will go to 3-1. The 3-1 on the way. Right up the middle. Right there is Alvarez. Throw on to first. A little high, but no problem for Schamberger for out number 1. The 6-3. It'll be Alex Cotter stepping in. Cotter has got on with a fielder's choice in the 2nd, got on with a single in the 3rd, and then got walked in the 5th inning and was stranded at 3rd. And now we'll see what he can do here in the 7th. 1 down for the Marauders. Looking for 2 more to walk away with a victory. Pitch on the way. Runs in for a strike. Lindsay pitching well so far in relief. Right back to Alvarez again. Reads it off the hop. Throw on to first. Deja vu. 2 down for the Marauders. One runs inside for a ball. One 0 on the way is inside. That one will fall for a strike. Count will go to 1-1. I do apologize. Do not have this player on my roster. So I'm not entirely sure who that is at the dish. But a 1-1 count here to number 12 for the Mohave Thunderbirds. The pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Lindsay 1 strike away from the Marauders' first game victory. The 1-2 as we get time called. So Lindsay 1 strike away from shutting things down here in game 1. As the Marauders look to carry this momentum into game 2. The 1-2 on the way from Lindsay. That'll do it. Ryan Lindsay coming in relief, able to shut the door on the Mohave Thunderbirds in game 1. Mingus walking away with a game 1 victory, 11-4. We'll stay right here with us. We'll wrap up this game and get you ready for game number 2.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles, and go Marauders.
The most common reasons for bankruptcy are unforeseen circumstances like tragedies, illness, unemployment, and foreclosures. I'm Michael Gordon. We understand your situation and your need to look at all the alternatives. Call Gordon & Gordon for a free, non-judgmental bankruptcy or foreclosure consultation. Ask about zero-down bankruptcy options. Gordon & Gordon Attorneys at Law. Trust well placed.
A game 1 victory for the Mingus Marauders, 11-4, as they walk away with their first win of this doubleheader and their second straight home win, beating the Mohave Thunderbirds 11-4. A solid victory for Jan Alvarez. 5 innings pitched, 10 hits allowed, 4 Ks, and 4 earned runs. But Ryan Lindsay coming in relief, pitching well, only allowing 1 hit and striking out 1 batter in his very limited outing in relief of Jan Alvarez. A solid victory for the Mingus Marauders. 3 for 4 from Anthony Rivera. He had a great game. Jahia Rogers went 3 for 4. Emmett Smith 2 for 4. Ryan Schamberger 2 for 4. Trey Peters 3 for 4. And a good outing for the Mingus Marauders and a great way to start off this doubleheader with a victory for the Mohave Thunderbirds. Panto, 5 innings pitched, 7 earned runs, 2 Ks. Borland, just a couple innings there in relief. 4 earned runs, 3 Ks, and McDaniel coming in to shut the door and get the one and only batter he faced out, and he did his job quite well. And one of the highlights from Mohave, though, an inside the park home run from Dylan Crandall. I will say I think this is my first inside the park home run working here at Yavapai Broadcasting. So thank you, Dylan Crandall, for helping me out on that one. But we'll head to game 2. The Marauders look for another victory as they take game 1, 11-4. Stay with us as we head into game number 2 right here on Verde Valley TV. We'll head into that one. I hope you stay with us.